Hello, so you're welcome to FDsciences. In continuation of the question, so we'll be starting with number 21, which says if filariasis is caused by a filariae around one species known as what? So the babesia cannot be the option, cannot be the answer because the babesia disease is a kind of disease that involves mammal blood. So the babesia they dwell in the mammal's blood and cause destruction by their multiplication. So when they multiply, they destroy the mammal's blood. What about the Wucherea bankruptcy? If you had remembered, I told you guys that the Wucherea bankruptcy in alignment with the Brugia amali and Brugia timori, which the mnemonics can be WB squared. They are the parasites that are in charge of elephantitis, which we all know as they are parasites in charge of elephantitis, of which the real state of disease is called lymphatic filariasis. So the answer is Wucherea bankruptcy. Then number 22 says the morphology of Trichuria adult worm is that shape. According to the image you have here, looking carefully, you see that at the right we have the two morphology of the Trichuria sex. So at the left is the adult female and at the right is the adult male. Looking at the morphology, you see that the adult female head has a wipe-like it has a pointed mouth. It has a pointed mouth at the adult female head, but at the lower part of the female there is an expansion which gives it a differentiation in morphology compared to the male, which has a coiled tail. So this is actually the morphology variation in both, so you can use it for your diagnosis. And the human host is their only natural host. That's what you should know. Then the number 23 says the enterobiasis is a parasitic disease caused by dash. Enterobiasis is a parasitic disease caused by dash. So enterobiasis, as you all know, is caused by Enterobia vermicularis. Then move over to number 24, which says the treatment of Strongyloidea testicularis is caused by all except, so we're picking the ones that are caused by it and excluding the ones that is not caused by Strongyloidea testicularis. So from what we have here, the thiabendazole, they are involved in treatment of spondylitis secularis, so as albendazole and ivermectin. All of them are added in these proportions for the treatment for spondylitis secularis. So you can make use of any of these drugs listed for the treatment of spondylitis secularis, but in exemption of nitazoxanide, which is not used for treatment of spondylitis secularis. So our answer is D. The type of reproduction in which nematodes give birth to or produce larvae is called what? It's called viviparity. So nematodes, they give birth to the young ones alive. They give birth to young ones alive. So that's what you should know about nematode parasites. Then, which of these nematode parasites does not live in the intestinal tract? So which of these nematode parasites does not live in the intestinal tract? We have the number option as Aclystosoma duodenalis. We have number 2 option as Ascalin subricolis, and number 3 option as Brugia amari and Spondyloides secularis as last. Remember I told you guys earlier that in parasitology, if you want to make best out of it, you have to connect every disease state to the other. Understand, like knowing the sites of infection, which will help you in diagnosis. Now the nematode parasites I've been mentioning, which the Brugia amali belongs to, that causes filariasis. We just read the question now. I said they help in water accumulation in the lymphatic system, mostly at the lower limb side. Now see, since they're involved in lymphatic system, there's no need for them to be included in intestinal parasites. So the actual answer is Brugia amale, which is involved in lymphatic system. The mode of infection of nematode is what? The mode of infection of nematode is what? So as you can see in our life cycle of Ascaris, we are making use of Ascaris because it's the major parasite that is treated in nematode classification. So in Ascaris lumbricoides, the mode of infection is by active penetration by the infective stage known as L2. So it's actually the infective stage. Infective stage, you can see in this diagram, it was labeled. The infective stage is L2, and what you should know about the color of X of diagnosis when it's been diagnosed, that when the egg is not fertilized, is always a kind of thin and how do I even put it? It's a kind of thin and not round. They're they're just always long. They are long when they are not diagnosed, when they are not fertilized. But when they are fertilized, they have a golden brown color, and they are like oval or round when they are fertilized. So you should use this in your diagnosis. That is all I have for Ascaris lubricoides. Then 29 says the infective state of Ascaris lubricoides is, we have said it in previous question, that the infective state of Ascaris lubricoides, even with our life cycle micrograph we have here, we'll be saying that the infective stage is the L2 stage, is the infective stage, second larval stage, where the parasites gets injected into the body by active penetration. So it's involved in direct life cycle. Take note. Then number 30 says one of these is not a symptom of Enterobus vermicularis. One of these is not a symptom of Enterobus vermicularis. Alright, so I'll start from option D, pneumonia Enterobus vermicularis. If you look at the life cycle of Enterobus vermicularis, remember you quote, you know the symptoms by the site of infection, abi sites in which they can be found. So in Ascaris now, just like in Ascaris they are found in intestine and act in blockage of intestine. So what happens then? It causes abdominal pain. So that's what you should know in Ascaris. But now, what about Enterobus vermicularis, which is less? Enterobus vermicularis is symptomless in some cases, in most cases, but when it happens to be in severe case, we notice some symptoms which are pneumonia. Pneumonia symptom is caused by its migration. The period is started migrating to lungs, bronchioles, and it causes blockage and leads to pneumonia. Then nocturnal aerosis. What is nocturnal aerosis? As okay, nocturnal aerosis is just a kind of bedwetting. So mostly bedwetting. It can be caused by hormonal imbalance, or it depends on gene. So it cannot. There's no similarity between nocturnal aerosis and Enterobus vermicularis. Then insomnia. When you are having itchy, when you're having itchy vagina or anus, it actually gives you uncomfortability, which can lead to insomnia when you want to sleep. Then the itchy vagina, like I said earlier, that itchy vagina is caused by the female Enterobus vermicularis when it starts producing its eggs. So it leads to itching. When the female Enterobus vermicularis start producing its eggs, it leads to itching of the anus or vagina. So this itching leads to what we call the insomnia, inability to sleep, and uncomfortability. Then pneumonia, when it starts migrating to different lung and airways. Then The number 31 says the reservoir host is a source of infection. Yes, reservoir host is a source of infection. Number 32 says sleeping sickness is caused by trypanosoma. Trypanosoma brucei, either rudensis or gambius, is causes what we call sleeping sickness. Then number 33 says which of the following is a hemoflagellate? A hemoflagellate. A hemoflagellate. A protozoal parasite that makes use of flagella as mode of locomotion and dwell in blood. So which of the following is a hemoflagellate? We have Trypanosoma cruzi, we have Trypanosoma brucei, we have Trypanosoma evansis. So our actual answer is Trypanosoma cruzi and Trypanosoma brucei. So number 34 says the Glossina species transmits what? So the Glossina species, also known as housefly, transmits it depends on the form. So the Glossina species transmits trypanosomiasis. Then leishmaniasis is actually a part of trypanosomiasis, but it's been um transmitted by the definitive stage of the amastigote. That is the form in which the trypanosoma exists in leishmaniasis. So but the Glossina species transmits trypanosomiasis, which is sleeping sickness. Then which of the following is not true life cycle stage of malaria parasites? We all know that malaria parasites are at the point of sporocytes getting its way into our body. It moves the liver cells through bloodstream, enter into the red blood cells and change into merocytes. This process is blah 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 blah. Then the garments form inside the man, and the mating of the garments, which is gametogamy, is formed in the mosquito when the mosquito comes for its second feeding. It actually injects. It actually it actually it removes like parts of the part of the specimen while feeding. So after injecting it for the first time, it comes for the second time. Then by that time, it's ready for mating, and it's while feeding, it removes some of the specimen, and the gametogony, which is fusion, happens in the mosquito body that leads to the last stage. That leads to oocysts in stomach and sporozoids in their throats or trunk, where they in the saliva, where they now use it for an injection in another host. So that is justice. Then number 36 says, so our option there in number 35 is C. Gametogony doesn't happen in human. In malaria parasites, only happens in the mosquito, but the gametocyte formation, that is garment formation, happens in human. Then which of the following is not considered pathogenic? We have Trichomonas tenax, we have Trypanosoma cruzi, E. histotic, and Trichomonas vaginalis. Trichomonas vaginalis is actually a protozoal disease that is concerned with it's concerned with vagina itching and all those things. So it's pathogenic. It's pathogenic, yes. Then E. histotica is also is also a pathogenic parasite because it causes amebiasis. Then Trypanosoma cruzi causes trypanosomiasis. Then what about Trichomonas tenax? Trichomonas tenax can be pathogenic in some hosts, but it lives like a free living parasite. Like it's not parasitic when it comes to its relationship with human. So now Trichomonas tenax, which lives in in the mouth of humans helps in dissection of bacteria. It helps in um, feeding in bacteria and doesn't cause any harm or less harm to the its host, which is known as commensalism. So the commercialness involves in commensalism. Then coming to the 36, which is Giardia lamella. The Giardia lamella has that flagella. It has 8 flagella, of which the third one is used for attachment to its host. So the answer is 8 flagella, of which third one is used for attachment to its host. Then which of the following is true of parasitic protozoa? Parasitic protozoas, they are mostly unicellular. They are mostly unicellular. Then trichomoniasis is a disease, is a dash disease. Like I said earlier, trichomoniasis, the infective stage is infected larva, and trichomoniasis is a zoonotic disease because it's concerned with pig, like pork. So it's a zoonotic disease, a disease shared between man and animal. So the infective stage of this trichomoniasis is the encysted larva. Encysted larva is the infective stage. So that is just it. Then number, if you can even see it from the life cycle we have here. So number 39 says a medical laboratory scientist was diagnosing for paragoniasis. At the course of diagnosis, the sterile he noticed at the course of diagnosis he noticed a leakage on the sputum containing, as he poured the same as he poured the sample, then decided to trash it in the basket. Let me read it again. A medical laboratory scientist were diagnosis for pregnancies. At the course of diagnosis, at the course of diagnosing using the sterile, I made a mistake there. He noticed a leakage on the sputum containing he noticed a leakage on the sterile containing the sputum as he poured the sample. Then he decided to trash it in the basket. So which basket is he meant to throw the trash? So now we should know the different basket colors and trash that are meant to be thrown in them. Like the yellow basket is for body parts, placenta, human tissues. So it's mainly for things gotten from the body. You understand? Bandages, linen and bed linen, solid plasters, cast, expired medicine, cytotoxic drugs. So there is the essence of yellow bean in the laboratory. Then for red bean, there is for IV tools, saline bottles, syringe, needles, vacuum containers, urine bags, cutters, stents, gloves, etc. That's what red this thing is used for. So the white puncture proof box, which is the white box, is used for forceps, blades, scalpels, lancets, needle tips, and scissors. Then for the blue box is used for broken items like all these um, contaminated glass and solid substances that we use in the hospital. Is for the blue glass. So now the question still remains, like, where do we trash like our collected sputum? You understand? Our collected sputum, where do we trash it? So we trash it in the yellow basket because it actually involves in body parts and it's a collection. So we trash it in the yellow basket. It's gotten from the body and it doesn't. It requires a safe keeping bin. You understand? Then the PCR method is used for diagnosing amoebiasis. No, the PCR method is not used for diagnosing amoebiasis. Diagnosis of amoebiasis is by stool, and if it seems to be hard, we diagnose amoebiasis using ELISA, enzyme link immunosorbent assay. So this is an extra question. The infective stage of the protozoa parasite Aedes lutica is dash, which we all know that the infective stage of the protozoa parasite. This is the most common question. Like as a parasitology student, you must know this. So the infective stage is quadrinucleate cyst. The quadrinucleate cyst is the infective stage of protozoa parasite known as Aedes lutica that causes amoebiasis in man. So thank you for listening, and I hope you pass your exams very well in the upcoming exam you're preparing for. So use this for your revision and also research more on any of these parasites to make an excellent result. I would like you to comment, share, and click the subscribe button for more information concerning medical courses, physiology, biochemistry, anatomy, and so many others. Thank you so much.